to Project One. So, Project One is really important because most of you aren't going to know how to invest. You're like, I don't know what stocks to buy. I don't know what to do here, there, or the other. And there's sort of a general thought that you want to buy what you know, right? And so, what brands do you currently use that you really, really like? It's kind of a good place to start, right? So, if we look at the worksheet, right? Project One example worksheet, we click on the worksheet. It's a blank template, except that I give you some examples. So, for example, I've got an iPhone 12. Yes, I know it's very, very old, but you know what? It still works. I like dial the phone and the phone works, and I send little texts and the text works. And actually, I'm holding out for the folding phone. So they come out with the folding phone, then I'm in, right? I'll go get the new phone. I'll pay the grand or whatever it'll be. But until then, I just need basic stuff, right? So Apple is on there. And then just go through and start to think about who do you currently like do business with, right? Infinity Mobile, Chucks, right? So I've got some Converse I like, but I like a bunch of shoes, and so Rayleigh's Food. That's where I go shopping, and but I do like Kirkland Chicken, and these are all the brands, right? I used to have a Chevy Suburban. I don't now. Now I've got a Volvo, but right, an Indian Chieftain, and so you go through and you just sort of list. So like I really like Balvenie, 21-year-old Scotch. And so just sort of put together a list of like 10 or 12 companies that you currently do business with that you like, right? Maybe don't put down any that you don't like, right? And um, and then what you want to do is say, or start with the product, and then who's the company that owns it? And then is there a parent company? And so how the heck are you supposed to know, right? So there's a couple ways that you can do this, right? So I used to say, just go to Yahoo, but that's kind of silly because ChatGPT will do so much more for us now. So let me pick one of my companies. Let's say Converse, let's say. So what I want to try to do ultimately is get to, is that company publicly traded? Does it have a stock that trades on an exchange? So what I could do is say, you know, good morning. By the way, I'm really nice to AI because when they take over the world, I want them to remember that I was nice. A lot of people aren't nice. They're just like, give me information. And I'm like, that guy's not going to do well when they finally take over. So I'm going to be nice. Good morning. And then so we want to ask, does Converse have a share that trades? Let's see what it's going to say. Good morning. See, it's nice to be. It's going to remember that, right? Is it still publicly traded? No, it's not. It was acquired by Nike, right? So how can I invest in Converse? Well, I could buy Nike. So we would want to put that there, right? So Chucks is the product, the company is Converse, the parent company is Nike, and then what is the stock symbol is NKE, and ChatGPT will tell you that. So that's all. That's all a Project One is you getting your arms around who are the companies that you use that might be publicly traded. So, like, I take Pepsid Complete, maybe I don't know, once a week or something. Pepsid is the company. The parent company is Johnson and Johnson. Yes, they are publicly traded. The stock symbol is J&J. Nespresso. Yes, it is. That F, by the way, Nestle is a French company. So the F indicates that they're a foreign company, right? But like for example, Indian that I ride an Indian motorcycle, and it's owned by Polaris. Right now it is, but it's being spun out. So today I can buy Indian by buying Polaris, but I won't be able to pretty soon, right? Kirkland Chicken, it's Kirkland Brands owned by Costco. So you just want to take a few minutes. And the reason you do this is that next week you're going to be building your first portfolio and you're going to be like, I don't know what stocks to put in my portfolio. This is an example of stocks that you can put into your portfolio. And a great way for you to begin thinking about investing. It's kind of like, well, I want to invest in Costco because I love Costco. And I really like, Apple, and I really like Nespresso. And so if you really like those, then maybe those become the first companies that you invest in. So that is project one. Not super complicated, but definitely it's going to take you a little bit of time. Don't be afraid to use ChatGPT. Ask them, who owns Pepsid and what is their stock symbol. And sometimes you're going to be able to drill down and figure it out. Sometimes you're not. So for in the case of Rayleigh's isn't owned by anybody, so there is no stock symbol. I do not have the ability to invest in Rayleigh's. Balvenie is owned by William Grant and Sons Group. They're privately held, so I can't invest in that. So you're not going to be able to invest in all of them, but a lot of them you will be able to invest in. So hope this was helpful. If it's not, you know how to find me.